Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Vredestein Tires. Vredestein is a tire brand you've probably heard of, but they're just launching in the U.S. But you've probably heard about them like casually, like, oh yeah, it's like that brand, right? Do you know this brand, Vredestein, has been around for 112 years. It's been around almost as long as the production automobile. The tires are all made in Europe, and they've been sold really, really successfully in Europe for 112 years. They've got some UHP tires, but really, they're all about the all-season performance, and it's about all kinds of weather, right? So you want your ultra-high performance tire, but if it rains, you just don't want to be driving around on like a slick, right? They've got UHP award-winning lines that cover every season and an incoming all-terrain tire called the Pinza. They offer the widest size range of ultra-high performance tires available in North America with all-season, all-weather, winter, and pure summer tires. Their newest product, the Hypertrack, is made for North America with the really cool Giugiaro design sidewalls. They offer market-leading wet weather performance, handling, braking, and hydroplaning for premium cars. They sent us a set, which we just had installs on Young Zach's M3, and we're going to be making a video with how we feel about those tires on the E46 M3. Really, really soon. I really like how the sidewalls look on his M3, and I really like how it would look on a Giugiaro design car. It would really match that styling super well, especially for your 80s and 90s cars. The Sprint Classic is that tire, right? Modern performance with period-correct styling. And then you have the Sprint Plus, which is a high-performance tire for like recent late-model classics from the 80s and 90s. That's what you want to put on your, let's say, Isuzu Impulse. You feel me? The Vredestein line is available from Tire Rack, wherever you get tires, and be sure to follow Vredestein, Vredestein Tires, Vredestein Tires on the gram, and look for some upcoming Vredestein SpawnCon on this week's podcast. We are also brought to you by Lemonaid Health. Guys, this episode, like many others, is brought to you by Lemonaid Health. Check in on your health. Use the time to check in with a doctor. And I know we don't all want to go into doctor's offices. I think it's a little weird to be hanging out in doctor's offices right now myself. That's why virtual medicine is what's up. Lemonaid Health is a virtual medical office providing you with affordable health care, but without the need for insurance. Our medical team can treat anything from erectile dysfunction to anxiety, depression, insomnia, hair loss, high blood pressure, and more. And you do it from your own home. No waiting rooms, no being around other people, just straight video chat. Virtual, it's great. And here's what's going on for you listeners out there. Lemonaid is providing Smoking Tire listeners with 50% off your first order of any ED medication. Getting started is very easy. Visit lemonaidhealth.com/tire, and that's spelled Lemonaid, not spelled like the beverage. Lemonaid, like help, not like the drink. Fill out the online questionnaire, and their medical team will review and get you medication fast and discreetly. Delivery is fast, free, and comes in discreet packaging. Visit lemonaidhealth.com/tire for 50% off your first order of ED medication from Lemonaid Health. And of course, we are brought to you for this entire year by Tradecraft Farms, the official ganja of the Smoking Tire Podcast. They have an Instagram. If you're in California and you can buy their products at retail, I would strongly encourage you to do so, either at your favorite local dispensary or at one of the Tradecraft Farms official retail locations, like their new one in Port Hueneme, which I am told is the correct pronunciation. If you're not in California, or even if you are, and you're an Instagram user, be a good fan and follow Tradecraft_Farms on Instagram for your boy Matt, because this train has to keep on rolling. These guys are keeping me in deliciously dank nuggets, which on their Instagram, which I'm looking at right now, they have beautiful macro photos of. Seriously, whoever their photographer is, I respect them. I respect them greatly. They respect their craft just like the people growing the Tradecraft. Give them a follow at Tradecraft_Farms on Instagram. Alrighty, folks. On this episode of the show, we got Jonny Lieberman phoning it in, literally, not figuratively. He is actually calling in because it's a pandemic, and so we're trying to not have people in studio who don't want to go through the annoying testing process, which is still annoying. Jonny and I have driven some similar vehicles. In fact, a couple of the very, very same vehicles, and so we're going to fight about them over the computer. We also have a little bit on this sponsored by Vredestein Tires. So it's Jonny Lieberman on the Smoking Tire Podcast. Jonny, 2 Jews, beards, Braymonts, and backwards hats.
Yeah.
L'chaim, sir.
L'chaim.
What you sipping on, my friend?
Good Shabbos to you, my friend. I'm drinking coffee. I'm drinking coffee, but
I texted you like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, "Are we drinking?" And you're like, "Yes."
This is on deck.
Oh, okay. What's that?
Yeah. This is a rye that there we go.
Yep.
That Mike Schaefer sent me. It's a 6-year rye from Willet. It is bottled 61 out of 196. It's called Salty Knots. And
I can't wait to taste these salty nuts.
Exactly. I cracked into it. So Schaefer, the photographer, some of you know him, Capital Sunset on the Instagram, but
he has a good quality gram. Do recommend.
Yeah, but he's overly generous. He sends me insanely expensive gifts that I'll never ever return. So he actually stupidly left the price tag on this one, and I'm like, "Tell me you didn't pay for this." He's like, "What? You're a good buddy." I'm like, "Dude, you make me feel awful. Like I have a kid. I'm not doing."
On a recent show, my friend Dave sent me a bottle of bourbon he didn't say anything about it, but I was kind of led to believe it was a lot more expensive than it actually was. I thought it was like $300. It turns out it was like $90. But that was still very good. And it's still a very nice gift.
The only $300 bottle or dollar, actually $500 bottle you ever got was that one I gave you. I didn't pay for
the Boss Hog?
The Boss Hog.
Yeah. I'm drinking right now this Wild Rye Distilling 5 drops bourbon from Bozeman, Montana. A fan gave me this on adventure drives, and it was very tasty.
Never had it, but
it was good enough. This is the last glass of the bottle.
Well, enjoy it. I was just gonna say I stole the Boss Hog from a rich guy, so I don't feel bad.
You're like the Robin Hood of bourbon.
I stole from a rich guy and gave to a richer guy, but still.
Fuck.
But you're a good friend.
Thank you. Thank you for coming back virtually and dealing with our technical issues today. It's all right, though.
We'll get there.
The most frustrating thing about doing this show with you right now is that we're 2 of like the 4 people that drove Elva, and we can't talk about it because it's embargoed.
It's literally 4 journalists drove it. It was me, you, and Awesome. And
I know.
Embargo till.
The embargo is on the 25th. It's like not soon, unfortunately. We're going to have to do another one that's like the all Elva hour.
We should do that because we could get Pat and Bossum to chime in.
I can't give any driving impressions about Elva, but I can say that my eyes have almost never been drier at the end of a day. I had my eyeballs just basically were just dust. There was,
and that's saying something considering our sponsor.
Did you wear a helmet?
I wore a helmet. We drove the 39, so I wore a helmet on the highway transitions because I was afraid. And then as soon as I got to the 39, I took the helmet off and put it away. I did not wear the helmet at all in the canyons, and then I wore it on the transit back. And I think I made the right decision. I think that's the right move. I think.
I wish we could talk about this, but I left the helmet off, leaving Beverly Hills. I got to Angeles Crest, and at the Shell station, I put the helmet on. and I did a little driving with it off, and then it got really cold, so I put it back on.
Yeah,
and then I just wore it back to Beverly Hills.
I mean, in general, if you owned an Elva, I think a helmet is probably recommended, but YOLO. We'll talk about that on the 25th. Let's not fuck it up.
I'm going to blow one little tiny part of the embargo, and I think it's okay. The Elva has the absolute worst floor mats in the car industry.
Oh, you're right. They do. That is not a driving impression. That is a physical attribute. Because explain why. I'll let you explain why, but I agree with you already.
Okay, so they're only held in place by 2 tabs that don't work very well, and there's only 2 of them. There's not 4. And to get in the car, you kind of step onto the floor first. You don't you don't put, because the sill's so high, you can't get your button there first. So it's like a Lotus 7 or something. You got to stand on the floor of the car. And
it's like a Shelby Cobra. It's like how you get into a Cobra, basically. Yeah. You either stand on the seat or you kind of wedge your feet in the floor in between the seat and the wheel. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like $2 million, so you don't want to stand on the seat.
Even though the seat is that crazy material, it's called ultra fabric, and it's like fake leather that's really good. I thought it was leather.
And actually, that name is a terrible name, but as soon as I sat in that seat, I was like, oh, this is something new. Oh, cool.
Yeah. I don't think it's a driving impression. We left the car in direct sunlight for a photo shoot for 2 hours, and it was the day that it was like 87 degrees.
Yeah.
And I was like, the whole time I'm like, ugh, black leather, it's gonna suck for 5 minutes. It was fine. It doesn't.
Well, that's very good. If you're gonna build a car without a roof or a windshield or anything, probably having some leather and then put a black interior in it. Yeah, having some leather that doesn't get super hot. That's not a driving impression. That's good.
No. Anyway, so when you
the floor mat,
on the horrible floor mat, the snaps give way and you slide and you fall into your $1.7 million car.
You want to
graceful into it. The solution is like a performante, right? Just grip tape. Just put grip tape on the floor. Like, problem solved.
Yeah, skateboard tape would have done it for sure.
Yeah.
But my back the last 36 hours has been completely fucked, and now that you bring that up, that's how it got that way. I'm pretty sure yoinking myself on this slippery ass floor mat. I think I said to myself, "God damn it!" 8 times.
Yeah, no, it's terrible because I was in and out of the car constantly because you move it around for the photo shoot, and again, there's no graceful way to get out of cars like that, but then sleeping carpet slides as you're getting out of the car. And
I like your solution.
And I not exactly light people, so Pat and Bossum, who probably weigh 120 pounds each, they probably didn't happen to them, but
the English guys are like, to save weight, the tensile strength of the magnets are only for about 100 kilos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Over 100 kilos, the floor mat's just the enemy. So that was annoying.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
We do have, what we should talk about, though? The 5 crazy Porsches.
Oh, yeah. You drove them, too.
Yeah.
They were fucking good. What a nice day that was, huh? Wasn't that a good afternoon?
So I'm sure you've talked about it, but so normally on stuff like that, you're like, oh, we're gonna let you drive it, and you'll have a lap. You know what I mean? It'll be totally unsatisfying. That it'll be or there'll be 4 other.
Remember the GT350 launch? That.
Yeah, but the lead fall guy will go the speed of the slowest guy. It'll just suck. This was 25 laps per car. And you had 5 cars and acceleration runs, and you picked one again, which I did. I mean, it's just the best day ever.
It was really enough seat time where by the end I felt wow, this is as fast as I can go in this car. It was pretty cool. I think it was wise of Porsche and the PEC folks and all them to make sure that we really got that 45. I mean, it was 45 minutes of track time in each car. I was exhausted by the end of it.
I was good. I actually have been working out during COVID, so I was the guy was actually wow, you're not tired. Everyone else has been exhausted. I'm like, Dude, I have 12 minutes left. Can I get back in the 4.0 for 12 minutes? So
It's no, you know what actually makes me tired is the setting up of the video cameras and shit.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
really that, and the fact that and you know, driving really fast while talking is, you know, it's like, imagine walking on a treadmill or doing anything while talking. It adds a thing. Yeah, for sure.
I got to tell you, like, I didn't do any video for this, and I'm so thankful. I just got to like sit there, be with the cars, and then run home right a bit. And it was like yeah, I'm sure you have great videos, but like it was just such a treat just to drive them and just be lost in my thoughts. And you know, my instructor was a great dude. He was like trying to talk to me, and in 3 of the cars you couldn't hear him. You know, the ones without turbos, like, it's like whatever. And I just kind of like turned the mic down, like okay. But they were just all incredible. You know, it was funny though. I went into it knowing that I'd like the 4.0 the most, and I did. But I thought like second place for sure I'd have the 996, and for me that was sort of a distant fifth. It was cool. It was analog, and the steering was great and all that, but it just wasn't up to the snuff of the other 4.
The 996 to me, and I said it in the both the written part and the video, was it felt like a really reputable shop took a regular GT3 and just like modified it for track days. Which is cool, like it's a cool bit of history, but it's not, it didn't feel like a ground up product. You know what's weird about that 996? Did you notice how from neutral, the distance for the throw length for the up gears and the down gears was different? Did you notice that?
Yeah. And not only was it different though, it was just incredibly long throws, which was weird because, you know, then you pop into the 997 and it's like, you know, literally the greatest gearbox ever created by
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, and so it was you know, Frank, the Porsche PR guy, he actually said something. He said, you know, there's a point when cars feel like old cars, and that point was about 2008. You know, so
that's very funny, and you're right. You're totally right.
Yeah, so it just doesn't, you know, it just doesn't have like the I guess even though it's on modern tires, those tires are like new, you know, they're way better than the tires that the GT3 RS would have come on.
Yeah, that's why that car feels pretty mild. I mean, it's like, you know, 385 to 400 horsepower, but on like brand new Cup 2s, like that's fully manageable, you know? Yeah,
and it just I don't know, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's very cool, but yeah, it wasn't. I mean, the others were kind of dreamboats. When I drove the red GT2 RS, it was having an issue. It was like one of the fender liners fell down, so it was rubbing. So I was worried that like the wheel was going to fall off. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, you don't want to break that thing.
Look at that cool little drift I was doing though.
It's a great shot. Who's that, Chauffeur? Yeah. It's a good shot.
No, Rents. That's it's a Motor Trend photographer named Rents. He's wrench.jpg on the Insta. He is such a talented photographer.
That's a good shot. I like that one.
Style stuff, but he's just a badass.
I liked the GT2 RS a lot. It was so much easier to drive than I thought it would be. The 997 GT2 RS, God, it was just like delight, because now that we know how to drive turbo cars, right? It's like we know how to do the squeeze, and if you know how to do the squeeze throttle instead of the stab throttle, and you like work on that, like that car becomes like fucking easy as pie. It's very nice.
So 2 things about that. Again, those are much better tires than the Pilot Sport 1. The ones that came on. Because I know that car really well. I'm not sure if it's the exact same car, but we actually broke that car by doing we were doing a video thing. We used to have an old program called the Science of Speed, and we were doing like 110-mile left turn. We did it like 30 times in a row, and it just starved one side of the engine. So it's the largest warranty claim in Porsche North American history.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the number?
Oh, it was in the 2s.
Fuck out of here. Wait.
Yeah, I guess
blowing an engine, and that was $200,000?
Well, I think it was because like the engine was totaled because it starved oil, something broke, and the engine was hosed. So like the new engine, which they didn't have one, they had to like make one, and then
I guess if it was a prototype, if it was pre-pro, yeah. If it was pre-pro,
it was. They only made what 500 of them. I think it's the most limited of all the 500.
It was. I think it was. Yeah, 500 was the number. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I remember that was when Nick Torque was the PR guy at Porsche, and he's congratulations.
Congratulations! This is the single largest claim we've ever fucking run. You should get a. Can you make yourself a little trophy for that? I would make myself a fucking trophy. If I came home from work and told my wife that story, within maybe 10 days, there would be a trophy sitting on the counter for it. That's why I married a good woman.
When my book comes out, just read the Porsche chapter.
Oh my God. Is your book just going to be called The Things I Broke? They came, they saw, they left on a flatbed.
No, that'll be a chapter. No, I think I'll call it like Meetings
Four Wheels
with
Off.
Remarkable Men. But I drove a tuned version of that car with I don't know, 700 horsepower or whatever in Miami, and it was wet out, and it was actually frightening. It had no traction, and it was just making cuckoo pants power.
Well, I drove was it the Sharky car? I drove Sharky's white one that had the whole Magnus Walker orange lipstick on it. That thing was getting wheel spin at 100 miles an hour. It was nuts.
This was a black one that there was a standard tune that people did to that thing, but with the traction control fully on, it was just all over the road. It was crazy pants. But it was sort of a sweetheart to drive. It was surprisingly, just loved being on the track that day.
Speaking of crazy pants, but also kind of a sweetheart to drive, did you also get wheel spin at 110 miles an hour in the McLaren 765 LT? Because I can't believe they just sell that to people.
So I drove it. It's funny you say that. So I drove it once, right? And I just got back, and I had no opinion of it other than it's just so, I don't know what the word is, rocket sled fast in a straight line, like shockingly stupidly quick in a straight line.
It's like an LMP2 car. It's like fucking crazy. With
200 horsepower more than an LMP2 car. And actually, LMP2 they just dropped it down to 540. I mean, it's
my God, that's so crazy. When I read the press release before I drove the 765, and I read shortened close ratio gearbox, and I went, are you fucking kidding me? This is something the 720 did not need.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And then but I went, luckily I had the car for a couple days, so I went back the next day and drove it again, and I it's like being at altitude. I'd acclimated to the speed, and so then I stopped tripping out about how quick it was and kind of concentrated on what a great driving car it is. And it's really cool. I mean, I think if you got a 720 and put those tires on a 720, right, about 50% of where you need to be. But it's an impressive car. I'm glad I drove it. Not that we can talk about it, but before the Elva, because the Elva is probably 200 or 300 pounds lighter and makes more horsepower. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's how I went. And I won't, it's not a driving impression, but I can say that what you just said right there is exactly how I felt when I arrived at McLaren Beverly Hills to pick up the Elva. That was my mindset. My mindset was, I can recall very vividly what I just drove from them, and this is lighter and has more advertised horsepower, and I'm glad I kissed my wife when I left, and no fucking windshield.
No, or glass. It's not even no windshield. There's no windows. There's no back. The car has no glass.
There's nothing. It's kind of awesome.
It's totally, well,
anyway,
embargoed.
It's hard to not talk about things with your friends. This sucks. Did you drive Mach-E?
What's that?
Did you drive Mach-E?
Not yet. How is it?
Ooh, it's fucking great. It's really, really great.
Have you? Can I ask? I know. I don't want to get into another tunnels shouting match. But have you driven the Model Y?
I haven't driven a Model Y. I've poked around a Model Y. I've played with things and sat in them. I haven't driven one yet. I've driven all the variants of the 3. I imagine they're similar.
So for me, the everything I didn't like about the 3, they fixed with the Y.
Well, that's good.
Including like it has a hatch where the 3 had a trunk, which was dumb, and then the like there was no headroom in the back, which is it's an SUV. So the Y, just because it's a little bit taller and it's a hatch, you get more headroom, and it drives incredibly well. So I think that's sort of like the hot comparison test is going to be what is it, Mach-E versus Model Y. These
both Zach and I, I know. Both Zach and I were like super, super, super impressed with Mach-E, and my wife was really impressed with Mach-E also. She was, Hannah was like almost leaning towards ordering a Bronco, but she drove Mach-E and she was like, actually, this is pretty fucking sick. She was really into it, and I think I was very impressed. They actually, I think they took a lot. And our first video of 2 came out today, our dynamic video. I did a range test video that comes out on Wednesday. Spoiler alert, I did 257 miles on a charge, literally without trying. Like, cruise control, 73 miles an hour, 101 north to Gaviota Beach State Park, flipped a bitch, came back, turned off at Oxnard, PCH, back all the way back to West Side, and I did a very, very easy, relaxing, and lovely 257 miles on the charge, which I found to be more than appropriate and right in line with what Ford says it'll do. So that's good. But comfy, dude, just fucking chill, comfy, quiet. I love radar cruise control, and I like to steer myself, and it was like, a really nice, progressive, smooth, not jerky radar cruise control. They did a very nice job. You're gonna really like Mach-E. You're gonna like it.
Yeah, I went to Detroit back when you were allowed to travel. Remember that? I went to Detroit, and I was like a group of journalists who got to see it really, really early on. We kind of knew they were making an electric Mustang, and so I got to see it. But they gave us the whole kind of spiel thought process behind the thing, and and everyone obviously went crazy because it's not a real Mustang and blah 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 blah. However, that said, their point was, look, before we started on this road, we were making an electric car, and it was going to basically be like the Hyundai Ioniq. So they have to do electric cars for a whole bunch of reasons. One is soon, people are that's all they're going to buy. But anyways, they're like, look, we're making a car that we don't want to build, that dealers don't want to sell, that people don't want to buy. So what at Ford is sexy, right? And they looked around. We make nothing but trucks and people movers. So, Mustang is sexy. And I think they made this decision before they started with the Bronco, obviously, because the Bronco's not yet. And they said, okay, could we make a Mustang SUV that's electric? And obviously it's not the purest thing ever, but like, I think by calling it Mustang, they were forced to make it drive better than it had to. And
I haven't heard that argument. That's good. Okay.
And this is based on what you're saying. Our guy Seabaugh drove it and said, it's sportier than an electric SUV needs to be. And I think they had, and I think it actually looks pretty good for an SUV. I think SUVs are rarely good looking, but
I agree.
There's certain.
Well, as Zach pointed out in our video, it's not really an SUV. It's only 3 inches taller than an RS6 Avant.
I was wrong. It was 4.5.
Oh, it's 4.5. Excuse me, 4.5. Sorry, that's in the middle, but it's not really SUV height. If you park it in your garage, it's not an SUV. It's a tall wagon, really.
And remember, that's what they're calling SUVs now. Like the Mercedes, whatever, the all-terrain and the Audi all-road. They have 1.5-inch lifts to meet the legal definition. Station wagons.
What was cool though, Johnny, was if you turn off, we had the all-wheel drive big battery, right? If you turn off traction control, it's off. I mean, it's fully, it's just one click. No big deal. No fancy things. Just boom, one click off. And, you can see it in the video. You can huck it. You can huck it, and it's nice and progressive. It doesn't do anything funky. There people thought about things. It's not bad. And this was the middle one. This is not the GT. The GT is going to really be, the GT is going to be something. Yeah. You put mag ride and real tires on this thing. This is going to be something. It's gonna be fucking mob.
Just from a corporate point of view, like if you look at, I don't know much about the new Explorer, I haven't driven it yet, but the last Explorer, you couldn't. Not only could you not turn the traction control off ever, it actually had like some kind of curve control feature.
Oh yeah,
off ramp. Because they were so worried about. Remember that when the Explorers, because of the Firestone tires were over, so they just made the decision like, this vehicle will never roll over. So to go from that to the Mach-E, where again, an electric SUV, people mover, where you can turn everything off. I mean,
and if you had the room, you could huck it. Like you can slide it too. Like we were on a little canyon road, so we weren't fucking around like that. But you could still make it move a little bit. This thing, like if you had a skid pad or a racetrack, you could fucking huck it. But you know who does the last gen G-Wagon? Did that thing where if you had more than like 10% steering, then it would give you like dead throttle, but it would come back, it was 0-100, right? So you'd be in the corner, and it would be dead, flat.
I never put it on video, but this guy, he sadly died, but his name's Erwin. He was the head G-Wagon tester in Austria, Graz, Austria. And he showed me how to do through motion with the G. And you put it in like, I think it was like low gear with just the center diff locked. And if you just started going around in a circle, it would just get up on. It was so rad.
Whoa.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah. The new G-Wagon was so good. The new one is the shit. That thing is dope as hell. I'm on board. I was anti G-Wagon until this generation, and now I'm pro.
Which I didn't get. I love the old G-Wagon.
I know. I just didn't like. I thought that recirculating ball steering was terrible, and that there was no like room for something that was kind of big. That bothered me, and they fixed that. It's good now. They fixed both things.
I wonder if it's a height thing, because I love the way like I fit in the G-Wagon. For me, it was perfect.
You're just shorter enough than me that is about right. I have the extra 2.5 to 3 inches that is the difference between it fitting and being very uncomfortable.
Like I'm getting a Huracan convertible tomorrow.
Ugh. God, fucking book a masseuse for the end. Tell him your hip flexors will be waiting.
But again, if I was 1 inch taller, it wouldn't work. But I'm just the height where it kind of actually works.
Bro, my limit on a Huracan Spider is like 16 minutes before I'm just just fucked.
Yeah. Schaefer and I drove one to Pebble last year from LA and back, I think. Can't remember.
Nothing wrong with the car, but the roof, the space where the roof goes, comes directly from your legroom. It's gnarly.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Even the R8 Spider is tough if you're over 5'9" or 5'10". Mm-hmm. Doesn't really work.
The R8, I think, actually has like an extra inch, but it's just basically the same car. Yeah, but so anyhow, I don't know.
What I'm kind of stoked on? I'll just take a left. I'm kind of stoked on. I just saw the new C8 Corvette convertible with the retractable hardtop. I'm kind of about that. That's a really, really nice. That really bridges the gap even closer between like a 458 and a C8 Corvette, doesn't it? That's a fucking nice setup.
The C8 is such an impressive thing. Like, we did best driver's car, and it did what it did. Came in 5th out of 7, but it was like for driving around. And what I mean is like you're just going on not 9/10, but you're just driving quickly with your buddies, like 7/10, kind of squirting around on the freeway, squirting around on the canyons, not going for it. There was no difference in feel between like the F8, the Huracan, and the C8. Like they were like, oh yeah, these cars are like the same thing.
Yeah,
They really nailed it. It was like, it had street tires. Everything else was on super, tires. And then as far as the convertible goes, like, yeah, I love the fact though that like the regular one's just a T-top anyways. So what's the point? But it does look good.
I agree with you that it doesn't make a lot of sense when the target top comes off so easily. And if it was my money, I would just get the target top. But I saw somebody roll into Malibu the other day, and as they were going to park, the thing did its little, and I was like, oh, well, that looks basically exactly how a 458 does it. Okay, they have nailed this one. Have you driven a C8 without Z51?
I haven't. We drove one at work. I haven't driven it though. I've only actually driven two. I drove the one, we had a Z51 for car of the year that was, I think, the same one or
you had it literally like the next day after we had it for performance car of the year, right? The orange joint. Didn't you have the orange guy?
No, we had a red one. I think we had like VIN 10 and you had VIN 18 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Same batch though. They were not production intent. You know what I mean? They were 5% off. But we had this yellow one, and it was, again, the Z51. It was just incredible. But no, I haven't. I'm sure, it's not as good as the Z51, but I haven't driven it. I'm just counting down for, bring on the Z06 already. Like,
I know that engine's gonna be the fucking titties. It's gonna be so nice.
That car's gonna be fast as fuck around road courses. Holy shit. I know.
It's already fucking fast. We got 2.8 seconds to 60. It's a rear-wheel drive car. 2.8 that's ludicrous.
Yeah.
And then we got like 11.2 in the quarter. And again, we don't do drag strip. We do like street start. It's already nuts. But like, I got to do a couple laps around Laguna Seca, and it's screaming for better tires. It's screaming for more aggressive damping. There's a little bit more body motion than you want. So I want that Z06. I'm so curious.
The fundamentals, man, the foundation is there. Like, I got to drive one for a day at Atlanta Motorsports Park, Z51 package, and visibility, steering's artificial, but it's pretty good. But like, you can tell that the bones are really good.
Yeah.
And when they start, like you said, putting a little bit of suspension into it, a little more aggressive dampening, it's gonna fuck other cars up on the track.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really quick.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
I like driving it a lot.
It's comfy, man.
It's
good.
But the other thing about the Corvette, which is so crazy, and this is like the Huracan, just to pick on Lamborghini for a second, like, pretty miserable around town. Like, it's a great car, but like it's just like, it's not a great driving around town car.
They're small and hard to see out of, and that's what it takes to make something look that pretty.
It's gorgeous, but it's just stuff like, I don't know, like, just ride quality and creaks. Just like Lamborghinis, I think they're so stiff, they like creak on everything, at low speeds. You notice it.
What you mean? Yeah,
Corvette's like, it's like a Cadillac, man. It's like the best ride quality of any supercar. And somehow with like less than 500 horsepower, it performs like a supercar. I don't know.
It just goes to show you how much of the power, between a certain level, without a carbon tub, right? Beyond, if you start going to the carbon tub cars, it changes. But without that carbon tub, how much power above 500 is, usable? You know what I mean?
Right. Like, and also remember, with pure naturally aspirated engines, you don't have a supercharger sucking on anything. You don't have any turbochargers. And you have a lot of displacement like the C8 has, then suddenly you're getting this really honest torque, which it's going away. I mean, like, the next generation, they'll never experience that. They'll have electric torque, but they'll never get like the big displacement NA torque. And it's just a great car with great noise. And I don't know. I'm just impressed by what Chevy did, especially for the money. Just crazy.
I'm really excited for the Z06. Like, really.
Yeah.
I heard that one clip. You know the one I'm talking about. Just the one clip that some person shot like on their phone or whatever of that thing fucking yipping away. And I was like, oh, it's that. It's like their, their voodoo or whatever, right? It sounded very tight. It was nice.
Yeah, so it's going to be, from what I understand, it's going to be a flat plane with twin turbos. So it'll basically be like a McLaren engine. But it'll have more displacement. You'll have more torque than the McLaren. I don't know if it'll rev quite as high because McLarens, they rev out to like 87 or something like that.
Yeah, they're way up there.
Yeah, I don't know. It might not, but it'll just be a monster. I mean, look, General Motors, like, you can't fuck with their V8s. I mean, they're the king of the V8. You know, they're just like, you know, you remember the 7-liter? I mean, name a better engine. There's like 2. So,
Well, I mean, my preference is, you know, they're as far as like effectiveness, I agree with you, but they're not. I don't know, the precision of some of the other engines I prefer to the just displacement and fury of the big.
Yeah, but like the
V8s.
Z28, it was the C6 Z06 motor. I mean, like fucking incredible. Like I'd say that. The current GT3 motor, or maybe the 4.0, and like the Ferrari V12, like those are my 3 favorite engines. Like they're just unbelievable, just unbelievable.
Those are good arguments. I might replace your LS7 with a Voodoo engine, maybe.
Nah.
Well, if I really wanted to be like really specific, the Dynan BMW stroker engine, the Dynan 4.6 V8, 525 horsepower. There was a drop-in crate engine for the E92 M3. I think it was $25,000 for the long block or something. I mean, it was ridiculous, you know. But I've driven a couple different cars that had that, and that was really on another level. Yeah.
Okay, if you want to play that game, I think it was like the M159 out of the Mercedes AMG.
Oh yes.
SLS Black Series.
Yes, very good.
That was a ripping V8, but it didn't have the torque of the 7-liter. The 7-liter, there was just something just so guttural and natural and just awesome and kind of.
It feels old and new at the same time. I think kind of some old school grunt, but it revs to $7,000.
It was as high tech as anything at the time. It was like titanium valves, sodium filled intake valves or whatever. I mean, the thing was crazy. Titanium connecting rods. It was a crazy, crazy hand-built engine. And just went into.
We met the people who built them. We met Zach and I went to Bowling Green. It was all those. The LS7. We went there while they were building both Z28. This was 2015, so they were building Z28 and they were building the C7 Z06. So one team built LS7s and LT4s, right? LT4s.
Right. LT4s is
LT4s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was literally 4 people. And you know what they told us, Johnny? That was one of the saddest fucking things I ever heard. I said, we were filming this thing, and I was like, oh yeah, we're here, we're gonna go over to the track, drive the Z06, and they were like, they get no seat time. The people who hand build every GM performance engine, it's a very small team, are right across the street from a racetrack where they can have all the Corvettes in the planet, and they get 0, not even an hour of seat time. We should do a GoFundMe so those factory workers can get some seat time.
That's a good idea.
I think that's true of a lot of places, because I went to Alfalterbach, where they build the AMG motors, and they don't drive them. In fact, F1 Mike Kubler, who builds all the Zonda motors and all the Wyra motors and everything, he'd never driven a Pagani. I think he basically built like 70%. So my buddy Chris,
what a fucking travesty of justice. I mean, honestly, that's terrible. That's terrible.
You would think Chevy would do it. The only thing, one more, not to defend him too much, that racetrack is actually not part of the factory.
I understand it's not part of the factory. I do understand that. Yeah. Doesn't mean it's not easily accessible from the factory.
But
they could manage some time.
Look, I'm a huge fan of employee education. I remember years ago, I did this amazing Rolls-Royce program. It's called Rolls-Royce White Glove Program, and they teach you. Like the Rolls-Royce factory guy teaches you how to be a Rolls-Royce chauffeur. It was
I love it.
I've ever done.
That sounds great.
What's that?
I said that sounds fucking great.
It was the greatest, right? So they put us up at the Win, right? Because the Win has a fleet of 10 long wheelbase Phantom, extended wheelbase, excuse me. And so I get in the car to go to the airport, and the guy's driving me, and he's driving me in a Rolls Royce. And he's like, "Oh, you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I was learning how to drive. I was learning your job." And he's like, "Man, I wish they put us through that program." And I'm like, well, Here, let me tell you all the things you're doing wrong according to the factory.
What was he doing wrong according to the factory? What are the things that we need to be doing here as a Rolls-Royce certified chauffeur?
Okay, before the client, as they're called, gets into a Rolls-Royce, just simple little things like all the vents should be, you know how they're circle vents and they have the slats and they could be rotated like this or like this. They should all be straight ahead, and they should all, just all 4 vents in the front should be the same. The temperature gauge should be like 2/3 blue showing, 1/3 red. All the organ pulls should be either out or in, depending on the weather. The driver's seat and the passenger seat should be the same distance. You don't want one back. The headrest should be the same height. The visor, it's just like you set up a car for a photo shoot.
Right.
You shouldn't have anything on the radio. You should have as little as possible on the screen. Nothing to annoy. When you get in an Uber, the opposite of every Uber you've ever been in, right? No music on. It's comfortable for the passenger, not because you're trying to save 0.1 gallon of gas.
Right.
Windows are not down. It's just stuff like that. Like the seatbelt shouldn't be twisted. Just setting the car up. That's off the top of my head what I'm remembering.
No, that's a pretty comprehensive list, and I'm in agreement with basically all of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got in the worst Uber Black a couple weeks ago. I swear I was getting picked up by a Proud Boy. First off, the whole rear window of this dude's Escalade was like of one of those sort of half see-through American flags with a bunch of symbols on it, only about half of which I recognized. I didn't even want to know. But then I get in the back seat, and this motherfucker's got like 4 tablets all over the car. Like, there's 2 on the dash. There's one in one of those things that comes out of the cup holder on one of one of them joints. And there's one over here. 2 of them are playing the music videos for the songs he's playing on the radio. This is for an Uber to go to the airport like 4:30 in the morning. I guess he was out. Maybe he was ready to take people home from the club. Or it's coronavirus. There's no clubs.
It's like he went to New York City, got in a cab, and he's like, I can beat you. Hold my beer.
That's the worst.
It blows me away. Like, why would you first of all, I hate every song. Like, there's not a single song you know that I like. And I'm talking to everyone. I hate all your music. So the odds of me looking what Uber guys playing are like less than 0. But I got one. Here's where I get infuriated though. Like, I remember the very first time. I think it was a Lyft. I took a Lyft. He picked me up in a Prius C.
Oh.
So.
You should not be allowed to drive for any app-based service if you have a Nissan Versa Note or a fucking Prius C. That's a disqualifying automobile.
And I live basically in Pasadena. I was going from Pasadena to El Segundo. So that means 110, which is the most wretched freeway. Oh, the 710 is more wretched.
Yeah.
So I'm in the back of a Prius C. The ride quality, I couldn't even, not that I need to text 24/7, I couldn't even text because the car is bouncing around so much. So that put me off ride sharing for a couple of years. But then the other day, 10 months ago, my wife and I were going out to dinner.
Time bleeds together. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, I know. I just feel like I'm living in a low security prison. Like I can drink whatever I want, but you can't have any fun. All right. So I go, okay, I'm gonna get us an Uber Black because we're going out to a nice restaurant. I'm gonna spend the whatever it is, 25 extra bucks. Right? You know what they picked? It's an Uber Black, a fucking Infiniti QX50.
Oh, bro.
That's not black.
That's not an Uber Black.
It's a fine SUV, but fuck you. That's not an Uber Black. The Black is, I want a town car, an S-Class.
Yeah. No, it's a Suburban at a minimum. The minimum is a Suburban. In Venice, it pretty much seems to only be a Suburban.
I know, but even Suburbans are not black. It's just a big car. It's not, Escalade.
I know.
Maybe.
I know.
Maybe.
I'm with you, dude. 100%. I'm 100% with you.
And are you with me how this horrible trend of like they have the air conditioning off and the windows down as if that's acceptable? Like, that's got to be an LA thing. No one else does that, right?
I think, well, I mean, Yes. First off, 2-part question. 1, yes, that annoys the shit out of me. I'm not about that. You should definitely keep the vents going even if the windows are down. It does not affect your efficiency in 2021. And 2,
No, that's true.
and 2, I'm also with you. You should have your windows down probably if you're in city streets because of COVID in an Uber. Taking Ubers right now is terrible. It's the worst thing.
I haven't been in one since COVID, but I remember one time I was just so sick of it happening. I asked the lady, I said, why don't you have, it's 95 degrees out, right? It's January in LA, it's 95 degrees. Why do you have the air conditioning off and the windows down? And she goes, oh, it like saves money. I'm like, it doesn't save any money.
No, it does not.
Putting the windows down, you lose 2 miles per gallon, and with the AC on, it's like maybe 0.1. But with modern cars, it doesn't even make a difference. It's on the Uber forums.
Uber forum. We should dispel myths on the Uber forums. That means I have to go. Oh my God, Zach. Oh my God, I forgot to send this. Matt, there is a Tesla owners dating app. Do you know about this?
No way.
God. Everything about it sounds terrible.
Hang on, Zach.
What's the name of it, though?
That's what I'm doing. I sent it to my buddy. Hang on. Oh God.
Model D.
Okay, Zach. It's TeslaDating.co. TeslaDating.co.
Oh, everything about this sounds terrible. Let's make a profile.
I should have sent it to you. A friend of mine is really good friends with Elon Musk. So I sent it to him.
The prototype. Andy, 36, has a Model S, and Mia, 28, has a Model 3. She is definitely...
You gotta read the whole thing.
The conversation are great.
Oh my God, it's got to be nuts. Get early I like how the button is the most Tesla button ever. Get early access.
But I like you have to prove you're a Tesla owner to date a Tesla owner.
That's hysterical. Oh wait, did that one that was scrolling through just say come over for some FSD?
No, it says, oh my God, want to Zoom right now? And he's like, totally. What's your number?
Looking for adventures and fun. FSD so you can meet me in the back seat. That's what that said. FSD so you can meet me in the back seat. Oh my God. Can somebody with a Tesla... No, I don't. Please don't. Don't send me your information.
You can't spell love without EV. Holy shit. Holy shit.
So 100 years ago, I was at a bar, and I met this girl. She was really cute, and we're talking. And early on in the conversation, she's like, so where'd you go to school? And I'm like, oh, I went to, Bongwater State. And she's like, oh, look, you're a nice guy. I got to stop you, though. I only date other Ivy League grads. Right? She actually said that. And this is worse. The Tesla app is worse than elitist motherfuckers.
Read this conversation.
On the screen, we've got a sample text between Natalie, who owns a Tesla, and some guy who owns a Tesla. And the message says, your eyes are, guy says to girl, your eyes are as blue and beautiful as the deep blue metallic exterior on your Model X. And then she says, OMG, wanna Zoom RN.
Right now.
Right now. And he says, I'm so down. What's your number? ...
Unbelievable.
Oh, everything about that is horrible.
I was saving it for the podcast.
You know what? I have a couple. Wait, I have a couple Teslas here at WCCS. Do you think I could use the VINs to make? You think I'd use someone's VIN to make an account?
You know what you should do?
I was like, I promise I won't use your data. Do you think they thought this was what I meant?
Do that and be like, here's what you do. You say, hey, I'm a Tesla owner. Obviously, that's how I'm on this exclusive dating app. Then be like, I also own just any car with gasoline, and be like, I have a Lamborghini. Let me pick you up in a Lamborghini. Like out them, be like, Tesla owner caught in a V12.
Fucking fuel burner. That homepage of that app said, meet someone who really understands you and really was italicized. Does that mean meet other cult members?
People that don't drive Tesla just don't get it. They won't understand you, your hobbies, your interests, your education.
On the mobile app, it says an exclusive community of like-minded Elon stans. What's an Elon stan?
It doesn't really say that. You're joking, right?
It totally does. 100%.
It says Elon stands?
Yeah,
oh my
Elon
God.
stands.
That's the
What's an Elon? I don't know this suffix
Wow,
stan.
to stan is someone who a proponent of. It's a proponent of somebody.
Okay, like a Kazakhstan.
It's what you might call a disciple.
An Elon stan?
A worshiper, maybe is what you would call it. A cult member is what you also might call it. What the
Stan
fuck?
has
Oh,
more
it's from the Eminem song,
Yeah,
basically.
It means diehard fan.
Yeah.
Again, I hate all music. So I hate that song. I've heard
You
it.
don't know the song, the Eminem song "Stan"? That's about the guy, the obsessed fan. It's about an obsessed fan.
Matt,
Yeah.
I don't know the Eminem song "Stan."
I'm sorry, you're too cool to
good
know
song.
the Eminem song
song.
"Stan." It's pretty good. Go on YouTube and check out the duet he did with Elton John. It's good.
See, right there, you already lost me twice. And again, when you hate all
Sorry, are you
music,
too cool to know who Elton John is too?
I know who Elton John is. I can't stand him. So I know when you hate all music.
You know
And
what?
yet you have guitars behind you.
Said
Well, I
the
like
guy
playing-
with the bass player. The bass is hanging behind him.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. Oh Jesus.
I mean, it's the greatest thing ever, right? I mean, it's.
Do you have to prove your stanness to them also? Like, here's your VIN and also your loyalty.
Here's
like,
my Elon tattoo. Here's my brand.
This dating sounds like Scientology.
I mean, are the people hot? Is it like?
I mean, they are in the stock photography.
Put your hands on these
this
two
is the
tablets
part.
while we ask you questions.
I guess I'd try it because like they're gonna be into weird shit if you actually would sign up for a Tesla dating app, right? Like
Yeah.
I gotta shop.
Let's
to get a
meet up.
Tesla.
Let's meet up in Supercharge.
You've seen Best in Show, right? The couple that they're like, I was at a Starbucks and she was at a different Starbucks across the street, and
then
that was when you were reading
were you
LL
reading the
Bean.
J. Crew
Right, I was
catalog?
in my J. Crew phase. That was one of my. I'm still a J. Crew fan, but that was in my J. Crew phase. She was reading LL Bean. Yeah, that's who this is.
And then I came over to your Starbucks, and I was like, "Do you like J. Crew?" Yeah, yeah.
I'm just again like it's I don't know. It's and I wonder how much Elon plays into it. Like how like nuns are supposedly married to Jesus. Like is it like you're always having a virtual Elon freeway? A lot of questions.
He's always digging tunnels under you.
Talk about the boring.
Dude. Oh yeah, dude. I heard you. I heard from Garbo that you got the Vredestein hookup. Are you an ambassador for them with us?
I'm not.
Are we on
I'm
the
not
same
officially-
deals?
I have no deal with them. I basically they'll send me tires, but I haven't done a deal type thing.
Oh, have you tried the tires yet? Because we just signed up and they just sent Zach some Hyper Tracks, but we haven't driven on them yet.
Yes, I have a set on. I have a long-term Mercedes GLE, and I put some winter tracks on there.
Which GLE?
and The 450. It's
Oh,
just
cool.
for Motor Trend, long-term car.
Yeah.
But it's killer. It's these tires. I mean, just first of all, SUVs should be on winter tires, not all-season tires. I don't care if you get 0.1 less % fuel economy or whatever. They're so much better. It just actually feels like a truck. And they look cool. But they just, I signed nothing like that. They didn't even offer me, honestly.
we got a
So
jet.
I did it with Motor Trend
Yeah.
for them.
You really
they
missed
just-
out.
What's that?
Oh, we got a plane.
We got a plane.
They were offering jets.
You didn't get the memo?
You guys, you missed out.
I didn't get it. No. I got the Bremont. That's about it.
Born from jets. Bremont is the Saab of watches.
So Zach, how are the high performance tires?
So far, they seem nice. I haven't driven them. I haven't taken them to the canyons yet, so I haven't really tested their performance capability. And I went back to OEM size. What?
Are these the high performance summer tires?
Yeah, they're high performance summer tires. They're supposed to be better in wet than their competitors, and so I took off my Michelin PS4s. Water is obviously hard to find on the road in Los Angeles, so maybe we'll get lucky this winter.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say it's rained once in 8 months, so I'm glad you switched.
So
that
far,
rain was awesome. I really liked that.
Oh,
rain.
yeah.
That rain was a good ass time.
cover the mountains in snow. It was awesome.
We went up to Big Bear. The COVID capital of the universe is actually Big Bear. Dude, the bars were open.
What?
We're fucking insane.
Get out of here.
Everyone's like, we're safe here.
There was big flatbed trucks, big trucks where people were crammed shoulder to shoulder, not wearing masks, heading from parking lots up to the ski hills. I couldn't believe it. We went, my wife and my kid, we got an Airbnb. The place had a little hill so the kid could go sledding. We didn't leave. We brought our own food. We didn't see or talk to anyone else, but just driving through town to get there, it was insane. It was right before New Year, like full capacity, no masks, restaurants, bars are open. And then the next day, so we got back on the 30th, I think the 31st or the 1st, there's an article in the LA Times, new strain of COVID detected in Big Bear. I'm like, no
great.
shit. Yeah. So
all right, well, I'll save that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How was the snow?
But anyways, no, I got a set of Vredesteins for the 914. So they're on the
Oh,
wheel.
cool.
They're mounted.
What's the status of that thing?
The wheels are in my garage. And it has paint on it. I don't know what the status is. The status is yeah.
All right.
It's getting there.
You know what I'm stoked about Zach's tires is they have Giugiaro designed sidewalls. That's fucking
They're all
cool.
so all Vredesteins are Giugiaro sidewalls.
Like,
in the
that's
US
real cool.
It is.
I don't know why that feels excellent to me. I feel like sidewall design is kind of like overlooked in a lot of companies.
It's like to go back to watches, like the rehat on a watch, right? Lots of watches have nothing there; they're just kind of blank.
Yeah,
and you could choose to decorate it. So it's kind of like the last thing, not always decorated. Although, really, if you think about it, like Michelin and Pirelli, they've been stepping up their sidewall game recently. But
yeah, Michelin does that thing that looks like a black velvet, which is interesting. That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's that's the last frontier, maybe. I don't know, maybe like I guess tire cap design's been kind of a
valve stem cap.
Valve stem caps. Really
they haven't really. No, don't change the valve stem, guys. We like the valve stem. It's fine.
No. But you know how like you can get anodized crap or dice or something awful. So
yes.
It's in a bad place. It needs Giugiaro to revitalize the valve stem.
When was the last time you saw a fucking dice valve stem on a car? Not in a store, on a car. I don't know.
Long ago.
Not that long ago.
There's this insane Camry. I never take a picture of it. I should get it's on the dog walking route, and it's got two wings. It's got like you went to Pep Boys, just vomited on your car. It's like one of them with like Armenian flags. It's insane, and I don't mean like sticking up like Lakers flags. I mean like it's got Armenian flags on it, like on the hood, and it's got dice. It's got black and white dice for some reason. So.
There's a car that we have here that's an old lowrider that has some dice hanging from the mirror that I really like a lot. Yeah, and that's an appropriate amount of dice, I think. But
yeah. No, they have their place, but and their place is on a Camry with two wings.
My Lambo has the gold valve stem caps. Those are fucking annoying. Tight. Yeah, they're good. That looks nice. Yeah, I should get some diamonds.
I got some metal for some reason for my Fiesta. I got some metal caps, which I don't know why. It adds weight, but I got metal caps instead of plastic.
Did you have to rebalance your wheel, rebalance your tires afterwards?
No, but I do have to get the fenders rolled on that poor little Fiesta. I made the tires wider and never really scooped them out. So
I have a baseball bat. Should I come over?
There you go.
I'm so torn. I want to get rid of that car so bad, but like I love it so much. It's just like.
Why do you want to get rid of it then?
Just get something else. I was kind of interested in getting like a Lexus GX just to make a little off-roady kind of guy.
Oh.
And
I like the GXs before they made the grill all weird. I like the earlier ones. The earlier ones are cool.
Yeah. But again, the Fiesta, right around, it has 41,000 miles. But when I had 40,000 miles on it, it suddenly needed about $3,000. And then when it came back from the Ford dealer, it every single piece of the interior was creaking, and I was bummed out. But the solution is just leave it in the cold for a week, and everything stopped creaking on its own. So
that's hysterical, really.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It was one of those things where I drove the 765, right? I was pounding around Angeles Crest, and I think I did 9 mile in 4 minutes, or set some fucking crazy license in prison.
Yeah, deep into jail time. Yeah,
deep, like seeing 135 various times on a 9 mile run.
Yeah,
and then I drove the Fiesta the next day, and I'm like, you know what? This handles really good. I like the Ford. It's really fun to drive.
You can always go back to that car after any kind of crazy supercar, and it's still pretty fun.
And I think that's I used to, when I had a WRX, it was this, and I had a 2006 WRX, and I drive whatever, a Boxster, which was killer. Then I get in the WRX, I'd be like, actually, yes, it's the cheapest car ever made, and the interior's a bunch of Happy Meals toys glued together, but the way it just drives is really nice. And the same with the Fiesta, especially I've done a couple little tweaks, and it's in a really nice place. It's just that if you're on a downhill tight corner, the tires rub.
Oh, yeah. If you're going full load and then you hit the brakes and there's a bump or something. Yeah, ours would do that too. Ours would do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you put anything wider than 215 meets on it, it does that. So I got to roll the fender. But that's, I don't want to be rolling fenders on a Fiesta. You know what I mean?
No, that's not. It's not classy.
When I put the 7-liter in it, eventually.
Yes.
That would be awesome. You gonna do that shit? Rutledge will hook you up.
Well, it's funny because Magnus Walker of all people, he goes, oh mate, don't get a 914, don't do it. And I was like, no, I have to. It's Davies, blah blah blah. He goes, mate, you're gonna restore it. You're gonna think it's great. You're gonna be on Angeles Crest, and you're gonna be in 5th gear, and you're gonna go, I need a little more power, and you'll downshift to 4th. And nothing will happen. The car won't go any faster. And then you're going to need a 6-cylinder, and that's going to be $60,000.
Super expensive, yeah.
So, I don't know. I probably won't do a 7-liter, but this car, I don't know. We'll see.
You know what you should call? You should call Busy. Busy builds these cars, these Porsches, and he pulls engines out, and they're sitting on his shelf. He's literally got 18 fucking Boxster engines just sitting around. Throw a fucking Boxster 2.7 in there, that thing will scream.
But if you do that, then you got to do a new transmission, then you got to do new axles, then you got to do new wheels. I spent 7 times as much on the wheels than I did on the car. Let me at least drive it before I do, another. And then you're getting into the 6-figure realm on a mutated car.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. So, but Magnus is right. You do downshift in that car, and nothing at all happens. That's correct. Yeah. That's a very astute observation from a well-experienced Porsche driver.
Yeah, he told me he gave one because I was like, I was joking around with him. He has so many cars. I'm like, you should give me your 914. He's like, oh no, mate, I gave one to my buddy, and he spent $40,000 on it and hates it.
Oh my god.
So mine's gonna look really good. It'll have that advantage. It'll be beautiful.
Cool.
That's and then we'll go from there. Go from there. So
what's happening over at Motor Trend right now?
Just trying to figure out how to do comparison tests with COVID, and it really sucks. It's awful, actually. We can't even, because we're just we don't want anyone. We had one employee in Canada. She lives in Canada. Alyssa had it, but we just don't want anyone else to get COVID. I don't want COVID. I just really don't want it. They're saying that long term, aside from fucking your lungs up, you can get erectile dysfunction. I don't want COVID.
We have at least 2 advertisers that could help you with that. If it happens, if not more. It's really the majority of our advertisers.
Yeah. But then, just corporately, we just don't want to have an event where we spread COVID around. We had to postpone BDC 3 or 4 months We almost didn't do it. And so it's everything's just kind of a weird bummer. But like, I don't know, corporately, we're doing great. Traffic's way up. We had one of the best periods between Christmas and New Year. Actually, the best we've ever had. So things are okay.
Yeah, because people aren't going anywhere. Everyone's just sitting at home going, "What new videos are there?"
Yeah. So it's weird. Top Gear is finally launching in 11 days.
Oh yeah, like next week, right?
The 29th.
Yeah.
To see what Jethro can do. I mean, I know what he can do. I'm excited to see what he does.
I remember when Jethro said, "Yeah, mate, I'll come by for the media tour." Wah wah.
Oh, for a WCC?
For Top Gear. No, not for the open house, for Top Gear.
I think that was COVID. I mean, he.
No. I'm just fucking throwing shit at the wall. Is there a media tour? Is he just doing Zoom calls? Like, what are they doing?
I don't know what he's doing, but he's coming back to LA. He'll be in LA. So
really?
They're filming something too.
Well,
so
I should make a note.
I think he's coming in February. I think.
We should make a note for that.
Yeah. No, we
could build like a whole full glass partition like across the room, Zach, where you and I are just on this side like bank tellers.
Yeah, we could do that. Get plexiglass in here.
Yeah, that would be fucking weird.
I'm hoping like COVID can't get much worse. I shouldn't say that, but anyway, I'm knocking on some wood. But
not in our city. Our city's fucked.
I know. But let's, I mean, it's so bad. I mean, I was going to come down to the studio, and then a friend of ours is a doctor at Huntington Hospital, and she's like, well, we weren't talking about your show, obviously, but just in general. She goes, well, people are just at our hospital. They're dying in the ambulances because we have nowhere to put them.
Fuck.
So that's fucked up.
Get to die alone in an ambulance parked in front of a hospital.
No thanks.
It's just like it's just crazy. So, anyways,
it's fine. I mean, it's obviously like. It's like, what are you going to do? This is what the technology exists. It sucks, but we make do.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? What the fuck are you going to do, right? My circle's like 4 people. It's like, it's Zach, and then it's my wife, and then it's Zach's girlfriend. That is it.
I see my wife and my kid. That's
I got not a lot of, except for, obviously the math situation outdoors and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
No. Cars. Or watches or something.
Quick, pivot away, quick. I was really impressed with Defender, though.
Yes.
Especially how fast it was on the road. Like, actually how well it handled on the road. Because usually things that are that good off-road are not that good on-road.
So I'm glad you said that. We were SUV of the year, and because of COVID, we didn't actually get to do any off-roading for SUV of the year, which is less of a huge deal than you think, because as you know, most quote-unquote SUVs can't really do anything off-road anyways.
Yeah.
But then I got to go and do a video on the Defender at the Land Rover, whatever they call it, Land Rover Academy or Land Rover Challenge up in Carmel. It's actually in the parking lot of the Quail. They have a Land Rover Experience Center. And they have 160
the trails are in the hills.
Oh,
Good.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
I was like, really? There's in the parking lot, huh? Okay, yeah. They go up the mountains.
No, they have 160 acres of trails. You got to go do it. It's absolutely incredible. But like we were rock crawling. They filled up a pond with 18,000 gallons of water. The thing is incredible off-road. But I was talking to one of the guys. He's a third-party guy. He does like Land Rover makes the prototypes and he takes them out and tries to break them. That's his job. And he has a company that does that for all kinds of SUVs. And I was asking him, like,
gig.
why? Oh, dude, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, why is this thing, like, I knew it would be good off-road. All Land Rovers are good off-road. This one seems especially good off-road. Why is it so good on-road? And he's like, honestly, a lot of what they did to make it so good off-road carries to on-road, meaning the tires are pushed out to the extremes of the vehicle. There's almost no overhangs anywhere on the thing. And they widen the track as much to get better articulation. So if you have a really long wheelbase, it's very wide, it just rides better. And then, the air suspension, which, it does, it's crazy for articulation, crazy in terms of travel. Well, the more travel you get, the softer it rides. And then, that engine is killer. It's a straight six. It makes 405 horsepower, mild hybrid. Yeah, you can see there the post mud.
Yeah. That's what mine look like too.
It's awesome. But the other funny thing was the guy was like, he's like, you're going to get stuck when you go through the mud, just so you know. And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, you're just going to get stuck. Everybody gets stuck. And I'm like, I guarantee I'm not going to get stuck. And somehow I didn't get stuck, but like I got that for driving too fast through mud. Let's put it like that. I made a great video. It's a very cool video. I think it's on YouTube. You can check it out.
We went up the Pioneer Trail at Rower Flats, which is where I take most of the SUVs. It's a tough trail for a stock truck. I mean, a lot of the most capable stock vehicles can do it, but it's not necessarily easy. But I did it in the G-Wagon like a month and a half ago, the 550, and it did it really, really well. It was very impressive. But the Defender did it like 10, 15% faster up the same trail. Just like total confidence, no problem. And I even picked harder lines. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's super good off-road.
Yeah.
It's super good off-road. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you driven the T-Rex?
No, not yet. The Dodge?
No. Ram, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't yet. I don't think I think they're not available for mere mortals like me yet. I think they're still...
Well, I know that FCA is having a horrible time with their press fleet right now for some reason. They had, because of the merger with Peugeot, they've locked everything up. But so
it seems like a good time though.
Yeah, but I've driven a lot of stock off-road vehicles, a lot of places. This is the most impressive one I've ever driven. This is like, it makes the Raptor feel like a little toy. This thing is. There's at Hungry Valley. There's like an off-road training part of the park. I don't know if you've ever been there, but
yeah. The big pile of rocks.
Big pile of rocks and the frame twister. So I take a zillion vehicles through that frame twister. And it's fun. You take like a Land Cruiser through there and you get two wheels off the ground. It's super cool. The Ram, first of all four wheels stayed on the ground. Second of all. It didn't even know it was going over it. I've been telling people, like 702 horsepower is the least interesting thing about that truck. Like it's kind of like a sloppy 7,000-pound truck when you're, on the street. You get it, you put it in the dirt. It's like, how like a penguin, it can barely walk and it goes in the water and it's the most graceful animal in the whole animal kingdom swimming. That's like this thing when it gets on dirt. It's like, it turns into a sports car in the dirt. It's fucking insane.
That's pretty much how my 911 is. My 911 is a little ungainly on the street, but it actually turns in like a GT3 on a loose surface. It's pretty fucking awesome. And I know exactly what you're talking about. It's great.
Yeah, so
what you mean is it's really responsive to weight transfer. That's probably right. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Also, the steering comes alive, and it feels like crisp. Like you ever driven like on snow with studded tires? It's like that.
That's good.
You can't believe the amount of grip you're getting, but you're getting it, so you're gonna go with it. It's like that. It's just fucking crazy.
I gotta have a go.
You gotta do it. And it jumps, and it's awesome. I mean, it's such a good vehicle.
Is it really 7,000 pounds? You said 7,000 pounds. Is that really what it is?
I took it to a truck stop, the truck stop on Cherry Avenue in Fontana, and I drove onto the truck stop. I got out. I looked at the scale, 7,000. So
exactly, it was exactly 7,000.
With the amount of gas I burned, driving from the Chevron on Cherry to the truck stop. It was 7,000 on the nose. A Raptor's about 56.
Wow, that's fucking heavy, man.
But it's just if you park it next to a Raptor, though, the Raptor looks like a 7/8 scale. I mean, the thing's just massive.
I don't want something that big. I don't want that.
No,
I'm not. That's not a pro for me. That's too fucking big, man.
It's one of those things. It's like weight is supposed to be bad, but they engineered their way around it.
No, I'm not talking about weight. I'm talking about size. Parking Raptors is hard. You're telling me this is now 15% bigger than that?
Oh, it's bigger. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like a Power Wagon, but it's...
Power Wagon's not good. Uh-oh. Johnny. Oh, no. God damn, your connection sucks my asshole right now.
It does? I can hear you, see you fine.
You're back.
Really? No, it's one way. One way. Bullshit.
How's now? How's
Not
now?
better. It's better. It's okay. It comes and goes, but it's fine. No, I really do. I know it's enormous, but like, thank God we've got the shop I could park it at. I can't fit the thing in my house. Can't even get it in my house.
Right. Well, you're moving soon, so you know.
Yes, we will have a driveway where we can park tall and long vehicles. Yeah.
Yeah. No, trust me. I took the T-Rex to where I live. I live in this weird little narrow, windy, dead end street, and it's a nightmare to back it out. It's literally a nightmare. It's almost too wide to get down the street. I feel like UPS truck. We have a UPS truck hit our neighbor's retaining wall like once a day. The craziest street. I actually have I have like 5 license plates from like Ubers that are just like on the poor guy's wall. But yeah, so it's a nightmare in LA. But it's a killer truck. It's a killer.
Yeah, if you got lots of desert to work with.
Oh, you got to drive. You'll love it.
I mean, I would love to. I'm sure I will make a note after this show to email.
They'll give you a T-Rex.
Well, they're different companies.
I mean, I would not to say anything too bad about Ford because they'll have their hitmen come and snuff me while I'm sleeping, but like FCA generally is a lot easier to work with than Ford.
I agree with you. They are. Yeah, no, it's only because I literally haven't asked. I will ask. Yeah.
You should ask.
Yeah. No, I got Hellcat Durango and I was impressed at the dynamics actually. I thought it was very fun. Yeah.
This is like that with like 3 times the engineering and 13 inches of shock travel. It's just like
I'm about that. I'm 100% about that.
Yeah, you would love it. If you like Raptor, you will love T-Rex.
I did like Raptor. I like it less now that it has the 6-cylinder engine in it, unfortunately. But I like what it's about. I like that the super truck is good at truck things, and it's not like, oh, good, you made a dragster out of a pickup truck. Yay! Like I don't really give a shit.
So
about that.
and we got 4.1 seconds to 60 miles an hour.
Oh my god! Jeez, that's pretty good.
And then we got towing a 5,400-pound Airstream. We got 7.5 seconds to 60. It might have been 7.7, but it's basically as fast as a normal pickup without an Airstream to 60. It's
that's
freaking
crazy. Can you damage the Airstream by doing that?
Nah.
Did anyone ride in the Airstream during that run?
No. You could have, but we didn't do that.
I would do that. That'd be fun. I'd be like, surprise me. Just go.
Yeah. But I have somewhere on my Instagram, I have a video. We have an F, I'm going to say it's a 250 Tremor next to the drag strip, and the T-Rex has an Airstream on it, and the T-Rex in the quarter beats the unloaded Tremor.
That's hysterical.
Towing an Airstream. It's just a monster.
This is maybe a dumb question. I haven't looked at that, and it's selectable 4x4, right? You can go 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive.
Permanent.
Really?
Yeah, it's permanent 4-wheel drive, and it, like the Raptor, it has a bazillion modes, like a Baja mode or whatever. But it's permanent full-time 4-wheel drive, and it has low gears, so you can do rock crawling and all that.
But what about like super Baja drifty mode?
Maybe I'm talking.
That was my favorite thing about the Raptor was that you could lock the diff in 2-wheel drive and do fucking nice desert slides.
You can do all that, but I'm almost 100%. Somebody, don't you have people that are on like the internet right now looking?
I mean,
at stuff?
Zach in theory could be. Zach, we don't care that much.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's permanent. It's permanent, but it has the desert mode is good, and you can drift the shit out of it, and it's. Oh, you look like you're in pain.
Sorry, no, I fucked my back up. It's okay. It has nothing to do with you. It's okay.
Sorry.
That's what I was sitting in the same position for too long. I was trying to not make a big deal out of it, but sorry.
That'd be really sad if it was. I'm so boring that I've hurt your back.
No, I hurt my back like yesterday or something, and it's just not better. Sorry.
Okay.
When my back is better, then I can jump the fucking TRX off of shit. Well,
honestly,
Nino from back in the day, Nino, his brother-in-law is a powertrain engineer on that truck.
Oh, he did a very nice job.
Unnecessary sidebar.
Well, I mean, the other thing, if he had anything to do with the sound, so that truck is so loud. When we were doing our truck of the year stuff, I was in, like, I don't know, a Jeep or something, and I happened to be hitting the gas pedal at a red light at the same time that the guy in the T-Rex was hitting the gas pedal. And I'm like, oh my God, this Jeep sounds great. And then I realized, no, the T-Rex next to me is so loud. It's coming to cap. It's such a great truck. So hats off to Nino's brother, because it's really,
I'm excited to have a go in that. Yeah, that should be fun as hell. Yeah. How much is it?
I like starts in the 70s, maybe 80 out the door type thing. It's, you know.
Yeah, expensive.
702 horsepower. It's pretty good.
Yeah, if you want everything.
Yeah.
I need to tow, go to the drag strip, show off to people, go rock crawling, go to Baja. I need everything. Everything.
And heated. It has heated and cooled rear seats.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's killer. So
I like the heated and cooled rear seats. That's boss. Yeah.
It has a lot of driving modes. It has the Baja mode. Is that the driving mode you're talking about? The Drifto?
Well, I don't think it has a 2-wheel drive mode. I think it's permanent all-wheel drive.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, the website does not indicate anywhere that you can go into two-wheel drive. Oh wait, go down. 4x4 auto, 4x high. No.
Yeah.
Nope, no two-wheel drive mode. Womp womp.
Yeah.
That's okay. Maybe with 700 horsepower, like, you just wouldn't be able to get any traction at all.
You can make it. You can turn the traction off and slide around in the dirt, and it's killer.
Yeah, that's probably true. What do you want to plug before we get out of here and end this here shizno?
Should we talk about our awesome
plug Braymont? Which one do you have on?
Yeah, I have the Ion Bird.
What is that? Is that a aviation themed? It's nice.
But of course, yeah. So it's a really cool watch. It's titanium. It is Rolls-Royce, the airplane engine manufacturer. They are trying to set the electric airplane speed record. And so this watch will not only be worn by the pilots who are going to do that, but the stopwatch in the I think it's called like the Spirit of Innovation is the name of the plane. The clock, the stopwatch in the plane itself, and the hinges on the canopy are being manufactured in the same place as the watch.
That's a nice looking watch.
Yeah, it's really cool. And what's cool about it is it's like got lots of like it's pretty straightforward. It's just for legibility. You can't even really see the second or the GMT hand, right?
Yeah.
But then you start looking at it, it's got all these cool little things. Like I'm trying to center this. Sorry, I don't know why this is so hard to do. Oh, right, whiskey. It's the whiskey. So you see, there we go. This is late. All right. You see how the crown becomes the lug becomes the crown guard.
Yeah.
See that? It's really nifty.
It's just kind of one unit. It's nice.
Yeah. It's a nice little touch, and then it's got this cool back, and it's got nice little black discs, and it's got lots of hidden stuff, which I like.
Mine has got the black discs too. I like the black discs; they're good.
So yeah, but what I'm doing, unlike you guys, because you guys just got your watches, I was like, I don't know anything about this brand. I'm honored you think that me wearing this helps you sell watches, but I'm gonna do it like I'm doing with Crown and Caliber. Just like send me a watch every 6 months, every 6 weeks.
Oh, cool.
And at the end of the year, I'll pick the one I like the best and keep it. So,
cool. I've got this World Time that I'm really about. I recommend it very highly. The World Time, it's extremely sick. It's not too thick.
I was like, yeah, it's cool. And then you put that bracelet on it, that Bosphorus strap. And,
my Turkish connection. They're about this shit.
It's a sweet strap, dude.
That's really insane how well that works. I was looking. It
does. I've got one for you. I have one for you. I send to you.
Well, I'll see you. Hang on to it. Next time I do your show in person, just hang on to it.
I like that Ion Bird. That's a good one. That's a nice one. And then Zach's got the GMT, the Alti. I can't remember. It's alphanumeric. ALT1. There you go. Sorry. I should probably study that. Sorry, Braymont people. I like your watches, but I can't remember your alphanumeric Jones. Oh, look at Zach hand modeling. You've actually done nicely there. It's actually really lit really well in that shot. It looks
shot worked out really well.
That's
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Give me a blue steel. Yeah, shout out to Braymont, dude. You guys are hooking up Me and all my friends. It's nice.
It's super cool, and I'm having fun with it. I'm actually having an easier time writing about cars suddenly because I'm learning so much about watches.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, why is one helping the other?
I'll give you an example because why not? The Elva. I don't know if you noticed, but the paddle shifters, instead of being just hunks of cruddy carbon fiber, they're actually like they are aluminum, but the way they're finished, it's like the hands of a Grand Seiko snowflake. They have
like the Zaratsu polish.
Yes, they have that sword kind of polish and honing to them, and so I'm able to say that. And before I knew anything about watches, I'd say they're metal paddles. That's about the extent.
No, they're like it's got a nice beveled edge on it. Yeah, they are very nice. So for those who have no idea what I'm talking about, Grand Seiko has a special style of polishing they call Zaratsu polishing, which is where they really polish shit to like a super mirror finish. It's pretty amazing stuff.
But then, like on the snowflake, it has that finish, but then also has like a rough edge to it, like it's like a sword finish, almost.
Right?
And so look, on a $1.7 million car, you should have a little bit of fascination. Oh yeah, there's next to that picture,
Zach, go for Grand Seiko Snowflake. Yeah, that's the go back to the hands. The hands is it. So you can see how the hands, it's satin and then mixed with a perfectly really mirror polish. And what's cool about Grand Seiko, they polish the underside of their hands. So when the light bounces off the dial, you can actually get a reflection down from the underside of the hands.
That's cool.
Back on the dial.
That's how it should be, but that's cool.
And so this dial we've got zoomed in here is the Snowflake dial. So it's made of brass, but it's got that brushing in it that makes it look like freshly groomed snow.
And so
it's fucking awesome.
When everyone listening drives their Elva, check out the shift paddles because they're real similar in execution. So so I'm really enjoying the watch thing because it's just like, I don't know, something new to learn. Something new to study.
A lot of parallels with the cars too. Lots. Tons.
There really is, and I was talking to Musto about this. It's like because he's like watches, but I'm like good cars. I'm not talking about your Prius Cs, but like good cars. There's something you want to like keep forever. There's no really reason to throw them away. Like a good watch, it becomes an heirloom. And it's this arch materialism thing, and spiritually it's a dead end and all that. But I dig like really well made things. So
I like really well made things too. I like handmade things, and I like mechanical things, and I like craftsmanship and quality bourbon. Thanks for your time.
Like the guy who made this, his name's Drew. Like I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been to his house.
Yeah, I've spoken to the people who make these watches. Yes, you have a connection to them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like it, dude. I hope I get to see you real soon. I'm sorry that you're not here in the studio right now.
I know. But we'll do it. We'll do it soon. Hopefully, I'm getting vaccinated. Hopefully soon. I'm gonna go to Dodger Stadium and just do it. Just get it done.
So. Well, I've been getting tested like every week, so we can just line up the testing schedule if you want to do it that way. It's totally doable.
It's what it is, honestly. Like for work, we like made this agreement that we're just not gonna like do that.
Oh, because you got it.
Also, just with my kid, he's in daycare, and everyone's like taking a vow that like you're not gonna be hanging out on people's backyards anymore. Like just take it super serious because. Just everyone's depending on it type thing. But I tested negative on Thursday, I want to say. I took another test, my 4th negative test. So
congratulations.
But it's like crazy, man. My neighbor across the street who he claims has been really looking out, he got it. So it's everywhere in LA, man. It's just horrible.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, way to end on a downer.
Zach, stay safe.
We'll see you. We'll see you real soon, dude. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate your time. Fucking listen to Johnny yappity yap over at Motor Trend. You know where to find this dude. The King Jew with the backwards hat.
I think Zuckerberg would knife you over that one, but yeah.
Oh, shit. No, you're the King Jew, but he's the rich Jew.
He leases you the castle.
You're just a tenant. All right, everybody. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. We'll see y'all later. Good night.